Do you think you know tomatoes? That round, red fruit sitting in your salad bowl? Smooth, bright, predictable? Think again. Around the world, in heirloom gardens and forgotten farms, tomatoes grow in colors that defy belief. Midnight purple, ghost white, striped like tigers. Some stay green when ripe. Others glow yellow as sunset, or shimmer with violet skin like bruised plums. There are tomatoes shaped like pears, hearts, and sausages. Tomatoes so massive they fill your palm, and others tinier than marbles. Tomatoes that taste like fruit, smoke, or wine. Today, I'm revealing 15 tomatoes that don't look like tomatoes. Each one stranger, more beautiful, and more delicious than the factory-red supermarket imposter you're used to. Stay until the end, because number one is so bizarre, so primal. It'll change how you see the entire species forever. Let's begin. Number 15. Cherokee Purple, the heirloom legend. Imagine slicing into a tomato and finding flesh the color of wine-dark seas. That's Cherokee Purple. This heirloom variety doesn't do red. Its skin ripples with dusty rose and deep mahogany, sometimes nearly black at the shoulders, where sunlight kissed it longest. Cut it open, and the interior glows burgundy green, marbled like antique stone. The flavor? Rich, smoky, complex, like tomatoes filtered through memory and time. Cherokee Purple traces its lineage over a century, passed down by Cherokee people in Tennessee before making its way into seed catalogs in the 1990s. It's one of the oldest heirloom varieties still grown today. Gardeners prize it not just for taste, but for history. Each fruit a living connection to the past, to hands that saved seeds through hardship and change. Here's the fascinating part. That dusky color comes from anthocyanins, the same antioxidants that make blueberries blue and wine grapes purple. Most red tomatoes lack them entirely. Cherokee Purple is proof that what we lost in pursuit of uniform supermarket red was nutrition, flavor, and beauty all at once. The taste is unforgettable, balanced acid and sugar with an earthy depth that lingers. Sliced thick on sourdough with nothing but salt, it's perfection. Bite into one, and you're tasting what tomatoes were before industrial agriculture decided they should all look the same. Number 14. Green Zebra, the riddle that stays green. Most tomatoes scream, "I'm ripe," with red skin. Green Zebra whispers, "Are you sure you know what ripe means?" Even fully mature, this tomato glows lime green with darker emerald stripes, racing down its sides like war paint. New gardeners panic, thinking they picked too early. But slice it open. Inside, the flesh gleams chartreuse with a tangy, sharp sweetness, unlike any red variety. Green Zebra was bred in the 1980s by Tom Wagner, a tomato obsessive who deliberately designed it to stay green. Why? Because green tomatoes have a bright, zesty flavor, almost citrus-like, that vanishes when they turn red. By locking in that color, Wagner captured a taste most people never experience. The sharp, clean brightness of chlorophyll combined with ripe tomato sugars. The result is electric. Each bite delivers acid punch balanced with sweetness, a flavor that wakes up your palate instead of lulling it. In restaurants, chefs adore green zebras. Their acid cuts through rich dishes, and their color startles diners accustomed to red. Sliced thin, they look like stained glass windows, translucent, striped, impossibly beautiful. It's not an unripe tomato. It's a tomato that rewrote the rules and dared us to follow. Number 13. Black Krim, The Crimean Shadow. Picture a tomato so dark it looks like it absorbed midnight itself. That's Black Krim. Originating from the Crimean Peninsula on the Black Sea, this heirloom grows heavy, irregular, and nearly black. Deep purple-brown skin over burgundy flesh. Its flavor is intense, salty sweet, with a mineral depth that tastes like terroir itself, like the volcanic soil and sea air that shaped it. Russian gardeners have grown Black Krim for generations, often saving seeds as family treasures passed from grandmother to granddaughter. After the fall of the Soviet Union, these seeds found their way west through seed exchanges and curious gardeners. Suddenly, people in America and Europe were tasting tomatoes that seemed impossibly old, impossibly strange, fruits that carried the weight of history. Scientists believe the dark color evolved as protection against harsh sunlight near the Black Sea. Anthocyanins again, nature's sunscreen, shielding the fruit while enriching it with antioxidants that benefit anyone who eats them. But it's the taste that haunts you. Deep, savory, almost umami-rich. Some describe it as the most tomato-flavored tomato, concentrated essence of everything a tomato should be. Black Krim doesn't just grow, it broods. And when you eat one, you're tasting the terroir of the Crimean coast. Salt air, volcanic soil, and centuries of careful cultivation by people who knew that beauty and flavor matter more than perfection. Number 12. White Beauty, the ghost tomato. Most tomatoes blaze with color. White Beauty barely whispers. Pale ivory, almost translucent, this tomato looks like it was carved from alabaster or moonstone. Its skin glows faintly yellow-white, catching light like pearls. And inside, the flesh is creamy and mild, with a delicate sweetness that tastes more like honeydew melon than tomato. White Beauty is what happens when tomatoes lack nearly all pigments. No red lycopene, no purple anthocyanins, no orange carotene. What remains is the fruit in its purest, most unadorned form. For that reason, gardeners call it the blank canvas tomato, proof that flavor doesn't require color. In the 1800s, white tomatoes were popular in Victorian England, prized for their gentle flavor and elegant appearance on aristocratic tables. Ladies preferred them because they seemed more refined, less aggressive than the bold red varieties favored by common folk. Then red tomatoes conquered the commercial market, and white varieties nearly vanished from cultivation. Today, White Beauty survives in specialty seed catalogs, treasured by gardeners who want to prove a point. Tomatoes don't need to be red to be real. They don't need to shout to be worth growing. It's a ghost from the past, pale and perfect, a reminder that sometimes the quietest voices carry the most meaning. Number 11. Pineapple, the bicolor giant. Hold a pineapple tomato, and you'll wonder if someone painted it by hand. Massive, often over 2 pounds, this tomato swirls red and yellow in marbled streaks, like sunset trapped inside fruit. No two look identical. Some lean more golden, others more crimson, but all of them shimmer with internal fire. Slice it, and the interior glows orange gold with red veins spiraling through like rivers on a map. The taste? Fruity, sweet, low acid, almost tropical. Hence the name. Pineapple is an heirloom from Kentucky, passed down through generations of Appalachian gardeners who saved seeds in mason jars and planted them each spring. It's a beefsteak type, meaning it grows huge, irregular, and intensely flavorful. Perfect for thick-sliced sandwiches where one slice covers the entire bread. Here's the science. The red and yellow result from varying concentrations of lycopene and carotene within the same fruit. It's a genetic mosaic, each cell producing slightly different pigments based on subtle variations in gene expression. Nature's art, grown from a seed, unrepeatable and unique. Gardeners often photograph pineapple tomatoes before eating them. They're that beautiful. But the real magic is the first bite. Sweet, complex, and utterly unlike the grocery store standard. It tastes like summer condensed into one perfect fruit. Number 10. Indigo Rose, the purple rebel. Imagine a tomato that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale or a wizard's garden. Indigo Rose does. Its skin shimmers deep purple-black, especially on the sun-exposed side, fading to dark red underneath. It's not a trick of breeding alone. It's anthocyanins again, but supercharged. Indigo Rose was developed at Oregon State University specifically to maximize these antioxidants, pushing the boundaries of what tomatoes could be. The result? A tomato with more anthocyanins than blueberries. Scientists measured it. This isn't just food. It's medicine disguised as produce, a functional food designed to fight inflammation and oxidative stress. But here's the twist. Indigo Rose tastes complex, earthy, slightly tart, with a richness that's polarizing. Some gardeners love it, savoring the depth. Others find it too intense, preferring sweeter varieties. What everyone agrees on, it's stunning. In farmers' markets, Indigo Rose stops people mid-step. "Is that even a tomato?" they ask, picking one up, turning it in the light. Yes, but barely. It's proof that breeding for nutrition and beauty can go hand in hand. If we're willing to accept that tomatoes don't have to be red, don't have to be familiar. Number 9. Yellow Pear, the tiny time traveler. Yellow pear tomatoes look like they escaped from a dollhouse garden or a miniature painting. Barely an inch long, shaped exactly like miniature pears, they grow in clusters that dangle like golden jewelry from sprawling vines. Their flavor is mild, sweet, almost fruity. More snack than salad ingredient, perfect for popping whole. But here's what makes them remarkable. Yellow pear is one of the oldest tomato varieties in continuous cultivation. Seeds dating to the 1800s still grow true today. Thomas Jefferson grew them at Monticello, recording them in his garden journals. That means these tomatoes have been passed down hand to hand for over 2 centuries. For centuries before that, European gardeners believed tomatoes were poisonous, part of the deadly nightshade family. Yellow pear, being golden, not red, seemed safer, less threatening. That's how it survived when other varieties were destroyed out of fear. Today, children adore yellow pears. Pop them whole, and they burst with sweetness. No acid bite, no challenging flavors. Gardeners love them because the plants produce hundreds of fruits all season, cascading like waterfalls of gold. Tiny, ancient, indestructible. Yellow pear is a survivor that refused to be forgotten. Number 8. Brandywine, the pink perfection. Ask any heirloom enthusiast to name the best tomato, and half will say Brandywine without hesitation. Large, irregularly shaped, and blushing pink-red, Brandywine doesn't win beauty contests. Its skin cracks, its shape varies wildly, and it ripens unevenly. But the flavor? Legendary. Sweet, tangy, perfectly balanced. The platonic ideal of what tomato should mean. This Amish heirloom dates back to 1885, originating in Pennsylvania. For over a century, families saved these seeds, planting them year after year, because nothing else tasted quite as good. Nothing else came close. Brandywine is a beefsteak variety, meaning it grows massive and meaty. One slice covers a burger. 2 slices make a sandwich. The flesh is dense, almost steak-like, with few seeds and intense flavor concentrated in every bite. But there's a catch. Brandywine is notoriously difficult to grow. It's disease-prone, low-yielding, and requires a long, warm season to ripen properly. Commercial farms abandoned it decades ago. Too fragile, too unprofitable, too inconsistent for mechanized harvesting. Yet gardeners persist. They baby their brandywine plants, stake them carefully, pray for good weather. Because some flavors are worth fighting for, some tastes justify the struggle. That's Brandywine. Imperfect, difficult, and absolutely irreplaceable. Number 7. Striped Roman. The pointed anomaly. Most tomatoes are round. Striped Roman is a rebellion against that assumption. This Italian heirloom grows elongated and pointed, shaped like a pepper or small zeppelin. Its skin blazes red with jagged golden stripes, as if painted by lightning or brushed with flame. Inside, the flesh is dense and meaty with very few seeds, perfect for sauces. Italian grandmothers have used striped Romans for generations, slow roasting them with olive oil until they collapse into sweet, jammy paste that coats pasta like silk. The pointed shape isn't just aesthetic. It evolved for a purpose: easier to dry and store. Before refrigeration, Mediterranean farmers sun-dried elongated tomatoes, preserving summer's harvest for winter. Striped Roman was designed by necessity, shaped by survival. Today, it thrives in gardens where people want something striking, something that makes visitors stop and ask questions. Each fruit looks handcrafted, unique. No two are identical in their striping patterns. It's not just a tomato. It's edible art with history baked into every stripe, every curve, every golden flame racing across red skin. Number 6. Blueberries. The midnight cluster. Tiny, dark, and clustered like grapes, blueberries tomatoes look more like berries than tomatoes, hence the perfect name. Each fruit is cherry-sized, but the skin glows deep purple-black from concentrated anthocyanins. Grown on sprawling vines, they dangle in bunches of 30 or more, shimmering like dark jewels or obsidian beads. Developed recently through crossbreeding programs focused on nutrition rather than yield, blueberries pack antioxidants found nowhere else in tomatoes. The taste is sweet-tart, complex, almost wine-like, layers of flavor in something so small. Children love them. Pop one whole, and the skin snaps, releasing juice that's both familiar and strange, both tomato and something more. But here's what fascinates scientists. The purple pigments only develop where sunlight hits the fruit directly. The shaded side stays red or yellow. It's nature's UV response made visible, proof of how light literally shapes life at the cellular level. Blueberries remind us that tomatoes are still evolving, not just through time, but through human hands guiding them toward beauty, health, and wonder. Number 5. Tigerella, the candy-striped classic. If tomatoes held a costume party, Tigerella would win Best Dressed. This British heirloom glows red with bright yellow stripes, perfectly even, perfectly vivid. It's small, tangy, and incredibly productive. Plants produce hundreds of fruits all summer without stopping. Tigerella originated in England, bred for cool climates where most tomatoes struggle and fail. It thrives in shorter seasons, making it a favorite among northern gardeners who face unpredictable weather. The flavor is sharp and zesty, with higher acidity than most red varieties. Sliced thin, it adds visual punch to salads. Kids adore them for their colors, treating them like edible candy. But the real charm? Tigerella is reliable. While finicky heirlooms sulk and fail, while temperamental varieties demand perfect conditions, Tigerella just grows. No drama, no disease, just cheerful striped tomatoes all season long, dependable as sunrise. It's proof that beauty doesn't require difficulty, that striking appearance can coexist with ease. Number 4. Black Cherry, the dark jewel. Imagine popping a cherry tomato and tasting wine instead of water. That's Black Cherry. Small, round, and nearly black. These tomatoes grow in long clusters, each fruit glossy and dark as polished mahogany or volcanic glass. The flavor is rich, complex, and intensely sweet. More like fruit than vegetable, concentrated and profound. Black Cherry combines the convenience of cherry tomatoes with the depth of heirloom flavor. Gardeners love them because the plants are vigorous, productive, and stunningly beautiful when laden with dark fruit hanging in grape-like clusters. In restaurants, chefs use black cherries whole in salads or roasted until they burst, concentrating their sweetness into jammy explosions. The dark skin holds anthocyanins that add nutritional punch beyond what red tomatoes offer. But it's the color that stops people. In a bowl of red tomatoes, black cherries look like they wandered in from another universe, refugees from some darker, richer world. Small, dark, perfect. Nature doesn't need size to impress when it has depth like this. Number 3. Brad's Atomic Grape, the elongated wonder. Brad's atomic grape doesn't look like a tomato. It looks like a science experiment that escaped the laboratory. Each fruit is elongated, olive-shaped, and streaked with purple, red, and brown in wild, chaotic patterns. No two are identical. The skin shimmers metallic in sunlight, iridescent like insect wings. This variety was developed by Brad Gates of Wild Boar Farms through years of passionate crossbreeding of heirlooms. His goal? Maximum flavor, maximum beauty, maximum strangeness. He succeeded beyond imagination. The taste is sweet, fruity, complex, layers of flavor that unfold as you chew. And the appearance? Unforgettable, impossible to ignore. Gardeners photograph Brad's atomic grape obsessively. Each fruit is a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, proof that tomatoes can be as diverse as any art form, as beautiful as any painting. It's what happens when passion meets plants. Something wild, beautiful, and utterly unique emerges. Number 2. Rhizotomate, the traveler's puzzle. Rhizotomate means traveler's tomato in German. One look, and you'll understand exactly why. This bizarre heirloom grows with natural segmentation, deep lobes that make each fruit look like multiple tomatoes fused together, pre-sliced for convenience by nature itself. Twist, and the sections separate cleanly, no knife needed. According to legend, 19th century travelers carried rhizotomate because its segments made perfect portion sizes for the road. Each lobe held together during travel, but separated easily at mealtime. Nature's answer to pre-packaged food. The appearance is startling, deeply ridged, almost alien, like tomato origami folded by invisible hands. And the taste? Meaty, low acid, perfect for sandwiches that need substance. Rhizotomate is proof that plants can evolve toward human convenience, that utility and beauty aren't opposites. It's as if the tomato anticipated our needs and reshaped itself accordingly, becoming more than what it was. strange, functional, beautiful. A traveler from another era, still wandering. Number 1. Wild tomato ancestor. The original truth. We've seen purple, white, striped, and segmented tomatoes. But the strangest of all? The wild ancestor that started everything. Solanum pimpinellifolium grows wild in Peru and Ecuador, scrambling through forests and along rocky coasts. Its fruits? Tiny, pea-sized, barely bigger than currants, dangling in clusters of hundreds like strings of red pearls. This is what tomatoes were before humans intervened. Small, seedy, intensely flavored, and utterly impractical for eating fresh. Ancient peoples didn't cultivate them for size. They valued the concentrated taste, using them as flavoring in cooking, as medicine, as offerings. Over 10,000 years, selective breeding transformed these tiny wild fruits into the massive, meaty beefsteaks we know today. But something was lost in that journey. Genetic diversity. Modern tomatoes are essentially clones, vulnerable to disease because they're too similar, too specialized. Scientists now return to wild ancestors, seeking genes for disease resistance, climate adaptation, drought tolerance, and forgotten flavors. The smallest tomato holds the future of the species in its genetic code. That's the strangest truth of all. The tomato you thought you knew is a human invention, shaped by countless hands over millennia. The original? Still growing wild in South American forests, unchanged for thousands of years, waiting. And there you have it. 15 tomatoes that prove nothing in nature is as simple as it seems. We treat tomatoes as ordinary, red, round, predictable. But hidden in gardens and gene banks is a rainbow of colors, shapes, and flavors we've nearly forgotten. Biodiversity sacrificed for uniformity. Beauty traded for shelf life. Each one tells a story. Of ancient farmers selecting seeds, of gardeners preserving heritage against industrial monoculture, of scientists breeding for nutrition and beauty instead of profit and shipping convenience. Tomatoes aren't boring. They're living art, edible history, and biological miracles. If we look beyond the supermarket, beyond the assumption that food should look the same everywhere, always. So next time you slice a tomato, ask yourself, what am I missing? What other colors, flavors, and stories are waiting to be discovered in the world around me? The world's strangest wonders are often hiding in plain sight. On your plate, in your garden, waiting to blow your mind.